Welcome to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy TV. This is where you get the latest updates on business, finance, economy, market, as well as investment information. If you couldn't follow us live on television, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, press the notification bell so that you can get notifications. Thank you. Enjoy this video. All right, welcome back to the program. My first guest is joining me. We will be looking at the impact of Port Harcourt Refinery on the River State's economy. So much has been said about the Port Harcourt Refinery, the old refinery working in tune of 70% capacity utilization. Dr. Lemmy Ughegbe, a public policy expert, is joining me today to take a look at this. Dr. Ughegbe, welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Now, let's get started. I think the first question to really ask you would be, there's a refinery right now, refining crude oil. The first question will be, will the cost of petrol go down? Or how will it impact the cost of petrol, at least in Rivers or around the host communities? Do they expect to buy it even lesser? Because people will be like, okay, how that one take help me? Will I get fuel cheaper?
Well, it's interesting, but we must take note of the fact that it's such a welcome development, having waited for several promises of the refinery resuming operations. At last, even in a very surprising manner, because this time it wasn't announced that it will open. We just saw operations started. So that's a very good development. Yes, the question is, would it bring down the cost? I think that is a gradual process. We must acknowledge that when a child is born, it starts with baby steps. In this case, it's not a child that is born. In this case, if you liken it to a child, it will be a human being who maybe had suffered a stroke and is starting the process of walking again. So it's gradual, and baby steps help. The first thing is to make sure that we have supplies, regular, sustained, and as other refineries open up, Kaduna and Warri, it means that the NNPC will be producing much more, and that would, of course, complement whatever is going on with the Dangote refinery. And once there is enough supply that can meet up with demands, it's natural and consequential that over time, yes, there will be a drop in the price of petroleum products and, of course, other associated products.
To what extent would we even see the impact on the host communities? Because I'm interested in the host communities, like is there Lashe and all those communities around the refinery. If we say, okay, Port Harcourt Refinery is producing, the old one is producing 60,000 barrels, but they is not as big as the second one, 150,000 barrels per day. So you're looking at 210K between those two. To what extent will it provide perhaps jobs?
Okay.
Direct and indirect, actually. Yeah.
Okay. For a while now, it's not been operational. And of course, you know the impact. Now it's operational. It means that there will be a lot of economic activities. Formal and informal sector, there will be creation of jobs. There will be even support services around the place as there are more workers working. There will be need for health services. There will be need for food vendors. There will be need for even entertainment around the place.
What kind of entertainment do you mean?
Entertainment, sit-outs.
Like beer parlors?
Well, entertainment of all sorts. Is, for instance, on a Friday, for instance, people are looking for places where they can go and unwind. So naturally, activities are definitely boosted, and it has a attendant toll on the economy for both the informal and formal, skilled and unskilled people around the environment. Naturally, activities such as refining, with different people coming in, trailers and trucks coming to take their products. There'll be patronage of even the food vendor along the road. Medium and small businesses will be able to thrive more because there is a beehive of activity in the environment. So I think it's a win-win situation for people around the environment.
I'm also interested on how it will impact young people.
Okay.
Because Nigeria is a country of young people. I've said it here many times. Our median age is about 17 to 18 years.
Yeah.
If Nigeria is one person, that one person is between 17 and 18 years.
Absolutely.
So how would it really impact young people? That's one. I was at the refinery, I think sometime last week. I saw, of course, even the people that I saw working in the refinery are young people. You know, young technicians with all their, you know, regalia and all of that. You needed to see how they were looking out like, oh, this engineering thing no easy. You understand? So, but apart from even those people, because like you mentioned, the people working would also go out, perhaps eat food, like to entertain themselves.
Yeah.
Christmas season is coming, you know.
Absolutely.
How about those around the area, young people around the area? Are there like opportunities for job creation?
Yes, absolutely.
Even if it's not within the refinery, as it were.
Yes, for instance, what it does, what the resurrection of the Port Harcourt Refinery does, is to even give the average Nigerian...
I like that word, resurrection, because it don't die.
is the,
It was dead.
is to give the average Nigerian, especially the youth, the young ones, hope that Nigeria can actually get it going. And we need a positive mindset. So it awakens the positive mindset in the younger ones that, yes, we can get it right. People, for instance, who would ordinarily want to go and study petrochemical engineering and all that, seeing that Nigerian refineries have been, you know, moribund for quite a while, of course, they'll be thinking about another thing. Because why build a bridge where there is no river, for instance? So that's on one hand. On the other hand, Nigerian youths, the young ones, are very creative, very enterprising. And so they just need to, you know, look deeply, dig deep, and create services that people who are even working already in the refinery would want to rely on to, you know, eke out a living. So I do really think that, first and foremost, the fact that they have something to see, to say, oh, so we can really get it right. It affects the mindset positively, and your mind is everything. And from there, you look for what are the needs of the people who are working there at the moment. What are the needs? You now look for how to create products around the need in order to exchange for money. That's another point. Then you think about education. Like I said earlier, if you are thinking about going to school, now lots of people who have checked the idea of petrochemical engineering, petroleum engineering and all that will be more enthused now, knowing that if the Port Harcourt Refinery has opened up, opportunity for jobs have been created, then if the Warri and Kaduna also take place, it means that there are increasing chances of them being gainfully employed for the ones who are interested in working in the industry.
What do you think that the NNPC Limited, even as is a commercial entity
Yes.
now, should do perhaps in terms of CSR?
Yeah.
To corporate social responsibility for the host communities. That's one. You know, the PIA also, there's a host community aspect in the PIA. What is expected of the NNPC Limited to do in terms of CSR for those that are from that community?
No, it's very important, and I know that the PIA has taken care of some of those issues. Well, you know, our problem is not the absence of the legislations and laws, it's the implementation. You cannot but provide for the goose that lays the golden egg. Of course, we know that with refining, economic, health challenges, environmental impacts, health challenges that can come. So, of course, as CSR, one, it's important to create special provision for people from that community who are qualified and eligible to get jobs, you know, opportunity to get jobs, right of first refusal.
That's to get jobs in NNPC Limited?
Yes, yes. Then, of course...
What if there are no qualified people?
No, that's why I say, that's why I made the caveat.
Yeah.
We cannot ask the NNPC Limited to go and give jobs to people who are not qualified. We said those who are competent, who are eligible, and have the requisite skill, okay? That's on one hand. Then when it comes to the environmental degradation and all that, NNPC must make sure that there are cushioning effects. There must be regular cleanup. We saw that government took up the issue of Ogoni cleanup and all that. We don't know how well that is panning out. Then, of course, hospital services, because with refining are very serious health issues that can occur. So there must be provisions. I know that PIA ordinarily makes provision for health issues and all that. It's important to hold the feet of NNPC Limited to fire, to be constantly reminded of its obligation, because the kind of health hazards that refining can really cause is such that I am sure that they are also, of course, well aware of it, and we just, as a people, as a country, must keep holding their feet to fire to make sure that when situations like this, when refining is going on, we mustn't wait for a breakdown. Economic, environmental impact assessment and regular cleanup, it's important. Making sure you provide health services and professionals who will take care of possible effects on people of that environment. It's also important that we do that.
Let me ask this question, and I'm asking this question based on what I saw when I went to the Port Harcourt Refinery. The Port Harcourt Refinery generates its own power from its own operations. They took us to, I saw three stations. So inside the refinery, they generate their own power. Is there possibly an opportunity for the refinery's activities to generate also stable energy supply for Rivers State, bearing in mind that our energy laws have been decentralized? President Buhari also, gave states the power to generate, distribute, and all of that. Is there a way that perhaps the Rivers State government can begin to speak with the NNPC Limited as a company? I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah, that will also be part of a CSR that, of course, will be paid for, but it's just that they will now look at it. The payment will not be as commercialized as it should be, because that's the place where they get their their products from. But this is a conversation that is very important to have. You would recall that even NASCO in Plateau State has been providing electricity for such a long time, So these are possibilities, and it also puts the company in a good stead, because if they are doing that, then even the challenges, some of the challenges over time of not being allowed to operate, when the people are benefiting so immensely.
By the money-less,
yes,
as it were,
absolutely.
by the use of those places,
absolutely.
Of the communities
when they are
around.
benefiting immensely, the chances are that they have a buy-in, a sense of ownership, and so want to protect the interest of the NNPC Limited. So it's important the governor of the state, and of course all of those who are stakeholders, can sit down and look at the possibilities. But let's not also distract NNPC Limited from the real work that they are to do. So when they are stable, I think that it is a conversation that can be had.
Why I'm asking, of course, the byproducts, because they themselves are generating their own power. So it's just an idea that I'm putting out.
Absolutely, it's a brilliant idea.
It's an idea that I'm putting out.
And I think that they should even be paying you for this kind of thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If not, of course, if not, definitely not the whole River State, but even communities around there.
It's natural. Like we have a saying that you can't have your brother on the tree, on the mango tree, and you are eating the ones that are falling on the floor of days after, days earlier or something. So I think that it's a win-win situation. NNPC Limited can explore that possibility also, because it's also another source of generating income, while also being able to sustain whatever finances are needed to even run its operation and get the other refinery working in full capacity. Imagine 150 barrel per day refinery also commencing operation. It will be a great thing for Nigeria, and gradually we can begin to have a better pricing of the product, at least locally.
Like they say, go there inside water, make soap the entire eye.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about another cocoa of the matter, which is revenue. Perhaps revenue for the states in terms of, now there is a new proposal, the VAT, the tax reforms bill, in terms of, we know the furore and the brouhaha and the controversy around it, but I'm also looking beyond that in terms of, okay, there's a Port Harcourt refinery. Will it now begin, if, of course, everything now is working well, 60,000 barrels get to 100%, 150,000 barrels begin to work, will that begin to attract perhaps new businesses into that area? And will this also be somehow a source of revenue for the government? So it's not just Lagos only, the companies there, or the oil companies, they operate in Rivers or Akwa Ibom or wherever they are, their headquarters is in Lagos. Obviously for challenges that were beyond their control at the time because of insecurity and all of that. Will this begin to generate those kind of conversations?
Yes, I do think it should, especially when it comes to business of refinery. You cannot say headquarters is situated outside of River State, and people who are suffering the devastation economically and environmentally and even health-wise will now not benefit from it. So I think that the tax reform would have taken care of such concerns. And that's why it's applaudable that they decided that they will, call a public hearing into it. State governors, economic experts, even communities that are affected by refining in their environment should be very serious about making representations that protect their interests, because it's really not, it's against the law of natural justice for people to produce a product and you say because the headquarters is elsewhere and therefore they cannot benefit from it. They, more than anybody else, especially because of the impact it has on both their personal health, the health of the environment, it's important that they get a better bargain for it.
I know that, of course, NNPC is a commercial entity. It's owned, of course, the shareholders, Nigerians, MOFI and MOFI. We know that the monies they get, between the federal government and all of that. But why I asked that question in terms of attraction of investment, new businesses that could be businesses that are taxable, that the Rivers State government could begin to earn money from.
Absolutely. There will be more business. Once there is increased activities, more people will be attracted to the environment. There will be, of course, roads, infrastructures will develop more.
So what role do you think the Rivers State government should play? Now that this is coming on board, gradually coming on board, the Fubara government.
Yes, it should be investing.
Because even that day that I went, I was not impressed, let me say the truth. The roads to the place. I was like, if a pregnant woman is on this road, the belly go come out. I was like, what?
No, the
trucks everywhere.
Governments must be proactive and prepared. You cannot be like the person who is praying for the rains and you do not have your umbrella, or you do not have your tilling equipment to prepare for farming. So the state governor must look at that environment, prioritize it, do a lot of infrastructure in the place, even build hotels, guest houses, places where as people come in, if the operation around that environment is not a 24-hour thing, people want to lodge, people want to stay in, get businesses done. Even business people will look at the environment and say, okay, what can I do? What can I invest in? And these are riverine areas. You know the beauty, if you look at what has happened across the world, even places like Dubai, even places like Lagos, where you can build multi-naira spinning businesses around seashores, around the riverine areas, so long as security is provided, and it will boost the economy. And of course, these people will pay tax. So it's very important that the government of Rivers and the governor Fubara thinks very proactively, begin to prepare, because if what is going on with the NNPC, the Port Harcourt Refinery, is sustained, then they should be preparing for a real economic boom in the environment. And you are not going to wait till that time comes before you do it. You must be proactive. And that goes the same thing for Warri and for Kaduna, because the president and commander-in-chief has ordered that this must happen this year. It's a possibility, and so they should be prepared for it.
I just hope they are thinking through it, because that day when I was going to the refinery and coming back, it wasn't really a smooth ride. And I was like, what's happening here? Governor Fubara, this is a call to you.
Yeah.
The federal government will not do this now.
Absolutely.
Now your work be that. All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ughegbe, for being on the program. All right, I've been speaking with Dr. Lemmy Ughegbe. We've been looking at the impact of the Port Harcourt Refinery. So much talk about this Port Harcourt Refinery in the last few days. But what I tried to do this morning is to cascade it into how do the locals feel about it, what will be the impact on the locals. Thank you for watching. In case this is your first time watching us, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop your comments as well as like, and most of all, share our content. Bye.